A single sheet of paper mailed from a hospital basement holds the power to seize a family home before the patient even heals. This specific piece of paper represents a collective $220 billion weight, crushing 40% of the American population. Most of these people had health insurance when their crisis began, yet they're now locked in a silent trap that slowly drains their future. We are taught to fear this burden, yet a small group of people use these exact same financial rules to build silent fortunes. The difference between these two worlds lies in how they handle a hidden mechanism that we will trace to its final, quietest form. Before they can even understand the charges, patients find themselves arguing with aggressive collectors over an $80 bag of sterile saline. Medical debt is unique because nobody shops around for a heart attack, leaving vulnerable patients with zero power to negotiate the cost of staying alive. Debt collection agencies buy these unpaid accounts from hospitals for pennies before suing patients for the full, original balance. Such collections seem brutal, except for a different type of debt that is legally designed to follow you to the grave. Federal student loans in the United States currently total $1.86 trillion, a figure that grows every second. Young people sign these contracts at 18 years old, long before they understand how compound interest will shape their adult lives. They sign away their financial freedom before they are even old enough to buy alcohol. Unlike medical bills, student loans cannot be wiped away through bankruptcy, meaning the government can seize your tax refunds or retirement checks to get paid. Many graduates find that after paying thousands of dollars over a decade, their outstanding balance is actually higher than the day they left school. Frustrated borrowers often pay back their original principal twice over and still owe the bank thousands of dollars. While college loans drain your bank account slowly, credit cards do it at high speed. Credit card debt is the most common financial trap, built on the psychological trick of separating the joy of buying from the pain of paying. Swiping a piece of plastic doesn't feel like spending real cash, which is exactly why banks design them to be so effortless. Card companies set the minimum payment just high enough to keep you out of default, but low enough to ensure you pay interest for decades. Carrying a balance of $5,000 can take 30 years to clear if you only pay the minimum each month. Credit card companies make billions by targeting people who are temporarily short on cash and charging them over 20% interest. Once credit cards are completely maxed out, consumers turn to their cars to keep up appearances. Auto loan debt has reached record levels because the average monthly payment for a new vehicle is now $770. Dealerships make more money selling these high-interest loans than they do selling the actual cars. Buyers sign up for 7-year loans just to lower their monthly payments, ignoring the fact that the car depreciates faster than they pay it off. If they need to sell the vehicle, they discover they owe more than the car is worth, trapping them in negative equity. Repossession agents can track these cars using license plate readers and reclaim them in minutes, leaving the buyer with no transport and a ruined credit score. Losing a vehicle is devastating, but the threat of losing your shelter is far worse. Mortgage debt is the largest single liability most families will ever take on. Banks structure these 30-year loans so that you pay mostly interest during the first decade, meaning you barely own any of the house you live in. On a $400,000 home, you might end up paying the bank over $800,000 by the time the loan is fully paid off. Leverage allows a small down payment to control a large asset, but it leaves you vulnerable to market crashes. Homeowners can find themselves underwater, owing more than the property is worth, if local prices drop by just 10%. Traditional home loans take decades to play out, except for a modern type of leverage that destroys fortunes in seconds. Crypto margin debt allows amateur traders to borrow up to 100 times their account balance to bet on digital currencies. Tiny price fluctuations trigger automatic liquidations, wiping out the trader's entire collateral instantly. Unregulated offshore exchanges hold these accounts, leaving young investors with massive liabilities they can never hope to repay. Dreams of quick riches turn into permanent financial scars before the trader realizes what went wrong. Speculating on digital coins is a choice, but millions of people face predatory loans just to buy food. Payday loan companies set up shops in low-income neighborhoods, offering quick cash before your next paycheck arrives. Borrowers face interest rates that average 390% annually, forcing them to roll over the loan every 2 weeks just to cover the fees. Repairing a car with a $300 loan can end up costing thousands of dollars in fees over a single year. Predatory lenders thrive on these repeat customers, who account for the vast majority of their profits. High interest rates are easy to spot, but a newer, friendlier trap hides in your favorite shopping apps. Buy now, pay later services divide small purchases like clothing or cosmetics into 4 easy payments. Splitting the bill makes shopping feel consequence-free, encouraging consumers to buy things they cannot afford. Missing a single payment triggers late fees and blocks your account, proving that convenience always has a price. Millions of shoppers are currently carrying multiple active plans, creating a silent pile of debt that is hard to track. Family loans become the last resort when traditional banks refuse to help. Personal loans between loved ones rarely involve formal contracts, which makes them highly volatile. What starts as a simple favor can quickly turn into resentment over Thanksgiving dinner if the money isn't repaid on time. Financial losses are painful, but the social cost of a ruined relationship is often permanent. Trust is the actual collateral in these deals, and once it's gone, it can't be bought back. All these consumer debts drain wealth, but business debt operates on an entirely different logic. Companies borrow millions of dollars not to survive, but to accelerate their growth. Corporate loans that fund factories returning 15% make a company richer, not poorer. Large corporations even issue their own debt in the form of bonds, using other people's money to expand their operations. Modern leverage multiplies profits during good times but causes rapid bankruptcy during a downturn. Ultra-wealthy individuals borrow against their own stock portfolios, living on cheap loans while their assets grow tax-free. This silent compounding debt isn't ever meant to be paid back during their lifetime. Appreciated assets pay off the loans after they die, avoiding income tax entirely. A single medical envelope sits on a kitchen table, unopened. Inside is the hospital bill that could take the house. Outside, the quiet rich build their empires on loans they will never pay back in their lifetimes.